Sean, as always, we appreciate the opportunity to get some insight from the defending champion, the champion trainer. And, of course, Zillzaal, who won the race at a very, very decent price, given that he was always a horse that was expected to be a more progressive horse as he got older, as he got gelded. Obviously he had the colic operation, but let's start with the defending champion who carries top weight along with his stable companion, Tierra Del Fuego, this year.
Yeah, I think you've touched on an interesting subject in that he was well fancied for the Summer Cup, and he won his comeback run in good fashion, and then gave us a quiet run. I think it might have been in the Charity Mile, and after that he blew off the boards. But if I look back at my previous winners, it's a similar sort of profile in that often they do have a quiet second run back, and they seem to fire up on the big day. Zillzaal, we didn't have the luxury of a second run based on his surgery. He came back just in time for one prep run in the Charity Mile. He acquitted himself very well. He worked a little bit harder in the race than I would have liked. Obviously the concern was that he would have had a hard run, but he didn't turn a hair. It didn't bother him at all. He's come out of the run very well. He's galloped well. He's in a good space, and if he can carry that type of weight, he must have a good chance.
I suppose stature is important. Tierra Del Fuego is a big, strong horse, and he galloped really well. He's a horse that's been most effective over 14 and 1600 metres, but he showed behind Hawam that he does get the trip, and I think we can just draw a line straight through his Vodacom Durban July run.
Yeah, I think he obviously things need to go right for him to be effective over 10 furlongs and more, and that certainly didn't happen in the July, and it certainly didn't happen in the Charity Mile, even though it was a mile. He's in a good space. It's third run after the July, third run after a little break. As you've said, he galloped really well. The question mark for him is obviously the draw. But he's in a good space, and he's not out of it.
Look, a bad draw is a bad draw wherever you run, but it's better to be badly drawn at Turffontein where you've got a much longer run in to give him some sort of a chance, whereas Gravel, it's touch and go.
Yeah, I think with him it's more about getting cover early and switching him off. The concern is him braking too well, travelling too well, being caught wide, not having a posse. That's the danger with him, because then he can't stay. He won't see out the trip. But if he can get early cover, switch off early, he'll be running on strongly.
Tumbo is a horse that's come into the race after a very good showing in the Charity Mile as a reserve runner. And he's a legitimate runner. I mean, looking at his pedigree, you'd think that he maybe wouldn't get 10 furlongs being out of Welwitcher. But the stamina influence clearly comes from the sire side.
Yes, well, the jury's out on the stamina, but I don't see why he shouldn't stay. His style of running, he composes himself early, he finishes off strongly. Being by Silvano, we must have a fair shot at the distance. Unfortunately, we got a few pounds for being out at the weights and carrying overweight in his last run, which I thought I would need to get into the race. It's just backfired a little bit, because now he comes in with 54 instead of 52. Sorry, Jahan and company. But he's in a good space. He's doing really well. Kelvin didn't do anything wrong in the Charity Mile, and I didn't really want to put somebody on that hasn't ridden him. I think he's got some things in his favour. He's well prepared. He's fit. Let's see.
Okay, people all have their fancies, and David Mollett has made no secret of the fact that he's hitched his wagon to Victoria Paige a long time ago. He's done his cash so far, but we know that the Summer Cup is run on Summer Cup Day and not before. And she's very handily weighted, no matter what you think of her price.
Yeah, so here we go with the quiet run before the big one. Her Charity Mile run was nothing short of exceptional. I mean, some of the scribes writing that disappointed, and we haven't seen she was low flying to be in the first three and got taken out very badly by Asterix. On the face of that, I was supremely confident in the Victory Moon, and that's the quiet run that she had. A good a run as it may be, Chase felt that had he got busy on her a little earlier, she would have been closer. I thought it was an okay run, but obviously we didn't expect that type of improvement from St. John's horse. So I think she's coming into the race fit. She hasn't raced fit for a long time. Yes, she was reasonably fit for the Victory Moon, but I think that just has brought her to a peak. She's a big, strong, robust girl that needs the work and needs the prep runs, and I think she'll be spot on.
Okay, now also I've got to be very, very careful about his Cornish Pomodoro, because I'm not convinced on paper, but when I see him in the flesh, my goodness, he is an absolutely smashing individual, and his penultimate run was a very, very good run despite the size of the field.
Yeah, it was a good run. We all know that Alec Laird's horse got taken to the outside rail, which, probably did cost him the race. However, I was very happy with my horse's run, coming out after a long break, and just actually doing it so nice and easily with nothing pressurizing him early. And he couldn't do more than what he did. His Summer Cup, his Charity Mile run was a little bit quiet. Second run, I think the mile is short of his best, getting beaten 3.5 lengths. I don't think it's a train smash. What I like about it is he wasn't far off the best of his generation last season. When I say 4 or 5 lengths, it's not but he's coming in with bottom weight, which I think is an unbelievable weight for him. I think Lyle wasn't quite sure which way to go. I just spoke to him about, that I think weight over 2,000 at Turfentine, it's definitely, having something in your favour. And he's gone towards Cornish, but he wasn't confident.
Yeah, look, it does help that he's the champion jockey. It does help that he's won the race. And he must have a very good idea. I mean, it can't be an easy choice, but there's a lot of upside to Cornish Pomodoro.
Yeah, I think they've all got different qualities, different pluses and maybe different question marks. His preparation's gone well. I'm happy. Good weight. Fair draw.
Just describe the gallop of Cornish Pomodoros this morning.
Cornish, he basically just jumped away from the 1200. We didn't pressurize him. He worked with Flying Carpet and just went through the gears, really. It was a very nice gallop, just to keep him maintenance fitness. He's a fit horse. So
Flying Carpet's shown his mettle, running against a very highly thought of horse in MK's Pride, and of course War of Athena needs no introduction. So we've got a horse that's 3-10 in Mount Pleasant, who's favoured for the Dingons, and you jumping in with a huge prize, as if the turf accountants are saying, well, that was a flash in the pan.
Well, the bottom line is he is a maiden, but he has got a merit rating of 108, which makes him the third highest rated horse in the race. So if we smoke in our socks, then there are a few others that are smoking their socks too. What do? We run. He's in a good space. I think he's looking for the extra ground, and if he's not up to it, we can always come back to a maiden.